Yes, and I respect that. But my client has a championship to contest. So if you want our participation, I'm afraid the concessions are mandatory. Yes, that's fine. Get back to me when you can. Goodbye. No one ever just signs the contract. Anyway, thanks for coming by on such short notice. I just needed to cover a couple of quick things with you before you race. Firstly, as requested, there's a copy of your contract. It's a rolling deal. However, the team reserves right of termination if you fail to meet performance standards. You're second driver for now, but work hard, hit your targets, and I'll be able to sweeten the deal. I'm also looking to get you into some invitational events throughout the season. The experience and exposure from these will be great for your image. Plus, you'll get to drive some nice historic cars. Now then, go get ready for the next session, and good luck.
Got my message. Perfect. Welcome to Home Away from Home. We get more real-time data from the factory now than ever before, and it all comes through here. So I have to spend more time checking over the reports and less time hunting you down in the hospitality suite. To that end... Sorry, just a sec. Yeah, Chris here. Is this important? I'm in the middle of something. Okay. Right. Well, that makes no sense. Have Sarah reset the simulation and run it again. Okay. Sorry about that. As I was saying, we've set up a desk for you at the front here. You can get onto the network from your laptop, so make sure to check the R&D screen regularly. And let us know how you want to use the data that we've collected over the weekend and through the practice programs. Also, bear in mind that the news from the factory won't always be good. Sometimes tests fail, like you've seen just now. And when that happens, we have to divert additional resources to fix it. C'est la vie, I'm afraid.
Hey, looks like you've got a bit of rivalry going on out there. This is good. Gets people talking about you. Just make sure you outperform them, okay?
Welcome to Melbourne, where qualifying for the Australian Grand Prix should be getting underway shortly. Looking at this field today, Ants, do you think we're going to see anyone take a chance, maybe run the harder of the available compounds and save some of the grippy tyres for the race tomorrow?
Well, I'd be surprised in all honesty. It's only the front runners that really have the pace to get away with that, and even then, at the end of the day, it's a big risk. Track position is the most important thing, and it's rarely worth sacrificing for a slightly more optimal strategy in the race, so I doubt we're going to see anyone trying it. I have been wrong before though. We certainly do see some risky decisions every now and then, and it's a gamble that's sometimes worth taking. But if it were me in the car, I would want to be on the fastest tyre for my qualifying lap, without a doubt.
fastest lap is a 1:30.7. It's a bit disappointing, but we just need to push hard in the race and we can still come away with something.
As we wind down from the excitement of qualifying, here's a look at your top three. Hamilton, Vettel and Valtteri Bottas. The grid is set then, so that just leaves the race itself. Join us tomorrow, where we'll be live with all the action. And until then, it's goodbye. It's out with the old and in with the new here at Albert Park as we usher in what we hope will be a triumphant new era of Formula One racing. For our drivers, though, it's very much business as usual, as they look to be first across that line and get their championship off to a winning start. Just south of Melbourne's downtown business centre is the one and only Albert Park circuit. 3.3 miles of public roads, all closed for the weekend of course, make for a bumpy racing surface with little undulation. There are 16 corners around the lake, but a couple of good passing opportunities as well, thanks in part to the DRS zones into Turn 1 and Turn 3. Today's race, of course, not simply the start of a new season, but the start of a new kind of Formula One. Anthony Davidson, great to have you with us once again. This is a big moment for the sport, big changes to the technical regulations, the potential perhaps to give us the biggest shake-up since 2014. Very different cars visually and, fingers crossed, much faster as well.
Good thing then that combined these teams put in just a shade over 13,000 kilometres on the clock during testing. The cornering speed of these new machines is absolutely unbelievable. How many lap records are still held by Michael Schumacher from 2004? Well, on the right day, on the right tyres, we might just be threatening them this year. Wider tyres, wider cars, more downforce. I have to say they look great, and the qualifying spectacle is undebatable. Now the big question remains, can they follow? Can they race? Or have these new rules gone too far?
Well then, after an exciting qualifying session yesterday, let's take a look at how the cars line up. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, with Sebastian Vettel starting alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid we have Bottas, Verstappen, Daniel Ricciardo and Stroll, Raikkonen, Grosjean, Williams and Esteban Ocon, Perez, Sainz, Nico Hülkenberg and Van Dorn, Magnussen, Alonso, Daniel Kvyat and Jolyon Palmer, Ericsson and Pascal Wehrlein completes the grid. Now it's almost time to lights out, so let's go down to the track.
Put the clutch in, hold it there till the start, rev up, build some revs and hold them. Clutch out, go, go, go. Right, let's get the car up to temperature on this lap. We're learning the gears, so go through them all if you can. sequence will begin as soon as the grid has formed. Be ready with the clutch. We're looking good from the start. We're approaching the pit window. You'll be on the super softs. Bottas is ahead of you. Okay, gap ahead is 0.9 seconds. You're gaining by 1/10 a lap. They're on old ultra softs. We think they've got 2 stops remaining. The time last lap was a 1 minute 35.2. The pit window has opened. Right, come in at the end of this lap. Are you alright there? Don't worry about the mistake, just focus on the rest of the race. Go now. Up to speed now. Let's get some heat into those tyres. through to the end now. Allowance ahead. The gap to the car ahead is 1.6 seconds. They're on old super softs. We think they've got one more stop. The time last lap was a 1:36.7. Okay, gap to leader, 30.3 seconds. You knocked the front wing. The damage only looks minor, but you'll need to take it easy to avoid making the problem worse. Okay, distance to teammate, 39.3 seconds. Okay, take it easy on the car. We can't sustain this level of damage. Virtual safety car deployed. Slow down and maintain a positive delta. Virtual safety car is deployed. ESC ending, we're going green. Maintain positive delta until the green flags. That's the end of the race. We'll see you in Parc Ferme.
To this round of the World Championship, here's how things look in the drivers' table. Sebastian Vettel takes over the lead of the Drivers' Championship after that excellent result. Now then, Anthony Davidson, who was your driver of the day?
Let's give it to Kevin Magnussen. That was a commanding performance today. Very impressive indeed.
On to the constructors then. Ferrari moved to the top of the table. After all that excitement, it's time for a lie down, I think. Thanks for joining us, and goodbye until the next race.
Is this the one?
Indeed it is. And this is Jonathan. He's going to let you drive some of his cars.
Well, not quite my cars, per se. It's a mere detail. You know, I'd really rather be down there racing them myself, to be honest. I'm actually quite handy behind the wheel, but it's the downforce, those lateral Gs, you know? The old neck can't really handle it. So I need a pro. That's where you come in. We run in a bunch of events throughout the year. Time trials, races, all sorts. And I have it on good authority that you have the ability and temperament to do well in these. Make our business look good and, most importantly, bring the cars back in one piece. So consider this a formal invitation. I'll see you at the track.
Now, I'd just like to step into my office. I'd like to go over those contract provisions we discussed.